X-rays were negative, so obviously when you see him walk off the field like that, very concerning, but the X-rays were negative, so that's a positive. I think just putting him in the day-to-day category is probably where we're at right now.
I understand that, of course, the losing is frustrating and starting to build on each other, but when you have an injury scare like that, does it just feel like one thing after another right now?
That one, I held my breath, I think we all did, because, when you're scuffling and to potentially lose a guy for 4 to 6 weeks is obviously very scary, but, exhale, sigh of relief after hearing that it was negative, and to lose him longer would have been really tough to overcome, but so we dodged a bullet there, and I don't know how he's going to come out of today, but see how it comes in tomorrow, but if not, then we'll have rushing at first base.
How scary is it when it's him that's coming to you in a situation like that as opposed to you having to come to
Yeah, he just doesn't come out of games, and so I didn't know kind of why he was walking towards me, and so it was kind of, then hearing him saying that it was his wrist and can't continue. So yeah, I was really worried, and typically it's the other way around.
Just follow up, what did he say to you during that conversation?
He just said, hit my wrist, and I'm gonna get it checked.
How frustrating this is, this stretch losing 10 out of 12, and obviously the Brewers would point to, but like just this whole stretch that's
It's frustrating, and I think that's a word that everyone uses when things aren't going well. But you also have to make your own breaks, and when things aren't, things are tough, you can't do things to sabotage yourself. And today, specifically, it was the defense, and I thought, giving extra bases, extra outs, that affects the starter, that affects the bullpen. Situationally, at bats for the other team, and then when we had opportunities, we just didn't make pitches. So all that kind of snowballs into giving up runs. And I love the fight at the end. Uribe's got good stuff, and so that was good. That was encouraging. And the irony is, Mookie hits a ball over 100 miles an hour with the bases loaded, and their guy hits a flare that. It's a 2-out knock, scores 2 runs, and that's baseball. But I think just seeing how Mookie swung the bat today, I was encouraged by that. Obviously setting the table for Shohei, who had another homer. So there were some things that I liked, but ultimately, we've lost 10 of 12.
The miscues the last couple nights, is that sort of a byproduct of you guys scuffling? Is that like focus in certain spots, or how do you sort of explain some of the defensive flaws?
I think that the defense, the plays that I've seen, I think are lack of focus. That's what I feel. The Tommy play, that's just a tough play. I mean, to get to the ball, to turn, fire, and get it across the diamond, and Freddie had a tough pick. So that's something that Tommy made a good play, but the fly ball, the grounder, those things just can't happen. And recently we're seeing that more and more. And like I said, that shouldn't happen with our club.
Bobber ninth the ball kind of got away on Dalton's infield single. Is that a play that Baez should have sort of hit rounded third a little bit harder, or did you feel like that he had a chance there to score?
I didn't look back at that, but obviously Vaughn made a good strong throw there, but I didn't see. I was watching the play in front of me, so I couldn't really tell what Andy was doing as far as how hard he was going or how far off third base he was. It didn't get away that far from him, and did make a strong play, but at the end of the day, we had bases loaded, brings Mookie to the plate, and he squares the ball up, and we were close to walking him off, but it just didn't happen.
Did you allow yourself to think for a minute with bets coming up in that situation that it was the slump was gonna end, it was gonna be a big hit? It's kind of looked like a Hollywood script being written.
I actually did. That would have been a great way to finish today, given the lineup switch at the top today, and that's what I was hoping for. But he still took good at bat, and a guy that's throwing 100-mile-an-hour bowling balls, and he squared it up, and he hadn't done that in a while, so that was good to see.
Is it surprising for you to see that kind of lack of focus, like you said, first series out of the All-Star break when there has been time off, time to reset?
Yeah. I mean, I just think that it's just uncanny. think that up until the last handful of days, a few days, this series, you know, I think Andy has played as good a center field as anyone in baseball, and so to kind of have the hiccups that we've had the last couple days, very uncharacteristic, and you just want to make sure that it's not that the offense, you know, bleeding into the defense, because that's something that that's not acceptable, you know, because when you're playing a premium defensive position, that the defense is very important, and you know, we need those plays to be made.
Dave Clayton showed his fire when he came out on the bench. How good is it just to have that guy that's showing his energy, showing his want for success like that?
It's great. It's great. I mean, yeah, he wasn't happy with how things played out, and I thought how the first 3 innings were going and how that 4th inning was going. You know, I felt where the pitch count was at, he could have easily got through the 5th inning, and things change when you give up bases and base runners and things like that. So I think all of it was frustrating for him, knowing that he wanted to get through at least 5 innings or beyond, and you know, we've got to support him too, and he was upset.
Are you starting to see that, just the emotional side of all of this, starting to kind of get to some of the guys?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Guys are competitors, and losing stinks, and you know, anyway, you lose. But so guys are getting, as we said earlier, guys are getting frustrated. You see kind of more emotion coming, and but you've got to kind of find a way to reset, come back fresh tomorrow, and play good baseball. And these 3 games and 6 games, or whatever it is, against the Brewers, we just haven't played good baseball. We haven't, and so it's in there, and we've got to do that.
Snell got through 4 today with OKC. Does he need another one?
He's gonna have another one. So it'll probably be Saturday. So he'll have another one on Saturday, and it'll be a 5 and 75. And then at that point in time, it'll be a conversation on kind of if he comes back with us or does another one. And Blake was good too. Tryon was good too.
What are your expectations for Shohei tomorrow?
3 innings. The goal is to go 3 innings, and then we've got Dustin May to take down as much of the game as we need behind him.
He hit a home run opposite the field 2 days in a row. How do you evaluate it?
I love it. I think his swing's in a really good spot. Took a walk leg, opposite field, certainly left versus left. Not trying to just pull the baseball. Shohei's in a good spot. Shohei's doing everything we need to do from him.
You're gonna keep Mookie in the leadoff spot?
Yep. Basics.